What is going on, my DC fans? Welcome back to another episode. You know, it's quite funny because for a long time, everyone thought that Zack was not the answer. You know, the critics got to him. They said Zack's work is horrible. No one likes it. Then WB started listening to that, and then before you know it, there was this huge debacle. Unfortunately, Zack's daughter committed suicide, and then he was thrown out, and this whole Justice League happened, and we know the rest is history after that. Which is it was kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you. But the age-old argument about Zack was that his movies were no good. Now, as a studio, and we've talked about this plenty and plenty of times, Zack's movies make money. Not only do they make money, they are staples in the movie industry. They leave marks. These aren't just movies that just happen and you kind of just forget about and you move on. You think of what he's given us. You think of Dawn of the Dead. You think of 300, Watchmen, which is way ahead of its time, BVS, Man of Steel. These movies are iconic. They are legendary. They will be talked about and have been talked about for years and years, and they will continue to be talked about for years to come. And the whole meaning behind this video is to tell you guys and explain how Zack was always the answer. And now he's back, and they have a plan. For a while, before, like when Zack was there, when Zack was making movies, they had a plan. Then they got rid of him. They didn't know what to do. They tried to make the critics happy, which they did with a couple movies, and those movies didn't make any money. So, and then of course AT&T takes over, and then they give us Zack back. Now we are finally getting the Snyder Cut, something we fought for so long. But we are getting so much more. Now, it looks like Henry Cavill has a huge contract, a bunch of cameos, a bunch of movies, huge contract. We know that Ben Affleck is going to be in the Flash movie. It looks like Ben is going to have his HBO Max series, with Deathstroke and with Lex Luthor and Jared Leto's Joker. You have a Flash movie, and then we're looking for a Cyborg series or a Cyborg movie, which should happen. But there's a lot going on with Ray Fisher right now. But I think Ray is ultimately going to win this battle. And then you have J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark that he's doing for HBO Max. And again, you have the Green Lantern Corps, which is going to be HBO Max. The future is looking very, very bright in the DCEU. There was a huge hiccup, and again, because of Zack not being there. And now Zack is finally back, and the DCEU is blossoming again. And it's such a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And it just goes to show you, like, perseverance for all of us. We hung in there. We kept on fighting. And, everyone tried to knock us down and say, it's not worth it, or it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I still can't believe it. I continued to say that it was going to happen. It just made the most sense. If people just step back for a second and they look at a situation, especially this, you knew it was going to happen. It's a movie called Justice League that is already finished for the most part. Why wouldn't they release that? AT&T coming in, taking over, now they need money desperately, and they're going to be like, wait a second, we have a movie that people are begging for, and we're not going to release that? This is opening up the floodgates, because now they're seeing a huge opportunity where all these fans, they want director's cuts, they want directors' true visions. And if you think about it, this can change the movie industry like big time. Because now, when all these movies are being filmed, they do multiple scenes. They do different takes, different ideas. Like for instance, the idea of Silas Stone dying in Zack's movie and not dying in Joss Whedon's movie. That idea, that's two different things, two major plot points. So now you're going to have, I feel like you're going to have more and more directors, possibly under AT&T as well, most likely, and they're going to be like, hey, you know what? We want you to film this movie, but we also want you to film different stuff, which again they do already. They do this already. So what I'm trying to say is, I think that director's cuts are going to become more of a thing because that's more money on the table. You're already filming them anyway, so film them doing something else. Film them doing this, or take the story this way, change the ending, and then release that a year or two later. Or of course, they do it a lot on DVD packages or whatever. It makes them more money. But again, the whole point is this video is that Zack is the key. Zack will go down in history as one of the greatest directors of all time because his movies, again, are iconic. They're not just your run-of-the-mill, one and done, move on. They are not. They make you think. I can't believe how many times I've seen a movie of his and walked out and was like, I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if I really like that. And now, years later, I'm like, wow, that movie was incredible. There's still things that you're finding out about BVS, which still blow your mind. The thing that blew my mind was the fact in Man of Steel, the very first not DCEU movie, if you will, the start of the DCEU, Man of Steel. One of the first things you see is that broken moon, which he said that was from Doomsday. Things like that. That changes, like, when you watch that now you're just, like, blown away. The fact that we now know Harry Lennox is Martian Manhunter. Now we watch Man of Steel and go, that's Martian Manhunter. He was in the movie the whole time. How freaking awesome is that? It changes so much for you. And that's the ability and the power that Zack has. I'm sorry, you can't say that he doesn't make good movies. People need to know the difference between like a good movie and a bad movie. There's a lot of times where I can watch a movie and I just don't like it, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. Okay, Zack might not be your cup of tea. That is completely fine. Completely fine. But you can't say he makes bad movies because he does not. And there, again, there's a difference. Plenty of times where you can just be like, that was a horrible movie, that sucked. Or it could be like, that was well done, well put together. I just didn't like it. I didn't like what they were giving me, which is fine. So yeah, again, guys, I just want to say that it's this movement was such a huge part of my life, especially the last couple of years. This meant so much to me, and now we were finally at a point where it's like we can kind of, take it all in and enjoy it, and it's great. It's kind of weird because we're so used to fighting for everything, and now we're sitting back and like I said, the whole thing is blossoming right before our eyes, and it's amazing. All of these incredible characters that I wanted to see on the screen. And Ben Affleck's Batman is one of the best Batmans I've ever seen. Henry Cavill Superman, my favorite Superman. I didn't care for Superman until Zack put him on the screen. Now I like him. Flash is an awesome character. Aquaman, Jason Momoa, killing it. Gal Gadot. I didn't care at all for Wonder Woman. I was like, no, I don't like Wonder Woman. Zack made a spectacular Wonder Woman. Now I'm a fan of Wonder Woman. I can't wait to see what they do with that. So many great, amazing things within the DCEU, and I just want more and more and more. People are saying that, the superhero genre is dead. No, I think it's just the beginning, quite honestly, especially for the DCEU. And you can thank Zack Snyder for that, because Zack is the boss, and Zack is getting what he wanted from the start. And I'm so happy for him, and I'm so happy for everything that we've accomplished as this movement. And again, Zack was always the key, and Zack will always be the key. So thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe and please become a Patreon supporter of mine, because that helps me in return. I can help you. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. Hoi!